This is San Pablo Bay, which is north of San Francisco, California. Now, before we get into today's video, I want to start this out with a map of the area to provide a little bit of context and explain the route that I took. So I started out in Vallejo, California and headed west on California Highway 37 to Novato, California, and then headed back east on California Highway 37 to Vallejo. The reason for this is that California Highway 37 is a divided highway and doesn't have a lot of intersections or off-ramps. Getting to some of the points of interest and trailheads can be quite difficult. And all these dots on the map represent different spots that I stopped at. So with that, let's get into this video of San Pablo Bay. The first stop that I made was at the Colinan Ranch Trail, which is in the San Pablo National Wildlife Refuge. Its first couple stops were in the Wildlife Refuge. So this trail that I'm on is on a man-made dike which divides up a bunch of different tidal basins. So these are kind of interesting. I am standing above a culvert that has a door on it. It's kind of hard to see because the tide is pretty far in. But there must be a river flowing into one of these tidal basins, and this door is designed to shut when the tide is coming in to prevent the water from backing up into the rivers and creeks. This is the end of the trail. It's a little over a mile from the trailhead, so I hung out here for a little bit. I moved a little bit west here, and this is Skaggs Island Road. This road's only open to pedestrians and authorized vehicles. So only about the first mile of this road is pedestrian accessible, so this ended up being a fairly quick stop. So I'm a little bit south of Novato, California now, and I believe that this is the Bell Marin unit, which is some fish and wildlife land. Now this trail goes all the way out to the bay, but it's several miles, so I didn't plan on going all the way out there. But it looked like there was a lot of engineered waterways and restoration projects going on in this area, so I wanted to check at least a little bit of it out. So I've gotten past all the engineered waterways and we're getting into some marshland. And the trail combines with a service road. This is as far as I went on the trail, and you can see there's other service roads in this area, but hiking is restricted on them. Back at the trailhead, and from here I started heading east on California Highway 37 back towards Vallejo. I'm back at the San Pablo National Wildlife Refuge, and this is at the Sears Point trailhead. I reached the first junction in the trails, and the Sears Point trail continues ahead. It's not very well maintained at this point. I think further down it's a little bit more well maintained, but I decided to turn off here towards the levee trails. So I'm just a little bit past the first junction, and up where that sign is, there's another junction with the San Francisco Bay Trail / Elliott Bay Trail. But I decided to continue on this levee, which goes more out into the San Pablo Bay. So this is as far as I went, and the trail may have continued, but it looks super mucky if there was a trail beyond this point. So I'm heading back here, and you see that nice rolling hill. As you get further back away from the bay, there's a lot of that. And I just love that geology back there. And some of it's actually in Sonoma and Napa Valley. So when I initially came out to the Sears Point trailhead, I was running out of daylight. So I decided to come back for round 2 so that I could do the Elliott Trail, which is also part of the San Francisco Bay Trail. So here we go on the Elliott Trail. So this discharge pipe kind of threw me for a loop, because literally as I was passing it, I heard some clunking noise, and then the water just started pouring out of it. It did smell. It was a little discolored, so I don't know if it's some kind of treated water that they just released a valve. So it's just weird timing. I ended up hiking for quite some time, but this section of the Elliott Trail is very long and straight. We're moving on now, and this is California Highway 37 going into Vallejo. This section of the highway has several bridges. This is the last place that I stopped, and it is the Mar Island Shoreline Heritage Preserve. This island has a naval shipyard. I think it still gets used a little bit, but not as much as it used to. This is our first view from the island. Down below is the shipyard, and then that water is the Napa River, and then across from that is Vallejo, California. I think generally we're looking at the mouth of the Napa River here. The exact point I'm not too sure about. This is from the highest spot on Mar Island. This is looking out on San Pablo Bay. This looks like an old ammo bunker. And surprisingly, this was open to the public. A lot of the shipyard is still closed. This is one final shot of San Pablo Bay, and this is going to wrap it up. I want to thank you for watching.